became an institution. Gulf unity was a reality lived by its people. Across the Arabian Gulf, the six states were bound by history, faith, language, kinship, trade, and geography. Their shores faced the same waters, their societies shared the same values, and their future was shaped by many of the same challenges. By the beginning of the 1980s, the region stood at a sensitive moment. Political tensions, economic transformation, and regional security concerns made cooperation not only desirable but necessary. Out of that moment came a historic idea, a council that would bring the Gulf states together under one framework of coordination, integration, and shared destiny.
فداك يا خليجنا إماراتي أنا الخليجي بحريني أنا الخليجي سعودي أنا الخليجي عماني أنا الخليجي قطري أنا الخليجي كويتي أنا الخليجي مفتوحي لا أوطاننا إماراتي أنا الخليجي بحريني أنا الخليجي سعودي أنا الخليجي عماني أنا الخليجي قطري أنا الخليجي كويتي أنا الخليجي.
The establishment of the GCC in 1981 was a strategic necessity shaped by regional challenges. At the time, the Gulf faced growing uncertainty and security pressures that no single state could manage alone. The 1979 Iranian Revolution changed the regional balance, while the Iraqi-Irani War brought conflict close to the Gulf, threatening stability, maritime routes, and oil exports. At the same time, Gulf states recognized that the shared similar political systems, economic interests, and security concerns. This created clear need for the closer coordination and collective actions. As a result, the GCC was established to strengthening consultation, security cooperation, economic integration, and present stronger unifying voice internationally rather than facing regional challenges individually. Gulf states choose to work together through practical and strategic framework for stability and cooperation.
The United Arab Emirates, the birthplace of the first GCC summit, holds a special place in the Council's history. In Abu Dhabi on May 25, 1981, the leaders of the Gulf states gathered to formally establish the Cooperation Council for the Arab states of the Gulf. From its founding role to its modern transformation, the UAE has become a center of trade, innovation, tourism, logistics, and international connectivity, reflecting the Gulf's ability to combine heritage with ambition. The Kingdom of Bahrain has long stood at the crossroads of Gulf commerce and culture. With its maritime heritage, financial sector, and historic role in the regional trade, Bahrain brought to the GCC a deep understanding of economic openness and connectivity. Its position as an island nation linked to the wider Gulf reflects one of the Council's central ideas. Geography may define borders, but cooperation builds bridges.
يا سلامي عليكم يا السعودية، يا ديار الشيم يا دار الأبطال.
ويا سلامي عليكم يا السعودية، يا ديار الشيم يا دار الأبطال. يا السعودي نحيي روحك الحية، يا السعودي نحيي روحك الحية، نشهد انك أصيل وطيب الفالي.
يا سلامي عليكم يا السعودية.
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, with its strategic depth, economic weight, and religious significance, has always been central to the Gulf's political and security landscape. As the host of the GCC Secretariat in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia has played a major role in supporting the Council's institutional work and advancing joint Gulf action. Its size, resources, and regional influence made it a natural pillar in the foundation and development of the GCC. Sultanate of Oman brought to the GCC a long tradition of maritime history, balanced diplomacy, and regional dialogue. Located at the southeastern edge of the Arabian Peninsula, Oman has long served as a bridge between the Gulf, the Indian Ocean, and the wider world. Its diplomatic approach has contributed to the Council's spirit of balance, stability, and constructive engagement. The state of Qatar added to the GCC's strength through its energy resources, expanding diplomacy, and growing global presence. From natural gas to education, culture, sport, and international mediation, Qatar has developed a distinct role within the Gulf and beyond. Its rise reflects the wider transformation of the GCC states into global actors with influence across energy, economics, diplomacy, and culture. The state of Kuwait has been one of the strongest voices for the Gulf cooperation, dialogue, and collective security. Kuwait's diplomatic identity helped shape the spirit of the GCC from its earliest days. Later, the 1990 invasion of Kuwait became one of the greatest tests of Gulf unity, proving that the security of one member state is inseparable from the security of all. For Kuwait, the GCC has always represented more than a regional cooperation. It is a shared Gulf home, built on solidarity, sovereignty, and common destiny. The road to the GCC passed first through diplomacy. On February 4, 1981, the foreign ministers of the Gulf states met in Riyadh after months of consultation and coordination. The meeting produced the initial declaration that paved the way for the establishment of the Council. The announcement was made by Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Saud Al Faisal, one of the key diplomatic figures involved in shaping the framework that would become the GCC.
لقد اجتمع في الرياض بالمملكة العربية السعودية يوم 29/3/1401 الموافق 4/2/1981 وزراء خارجية هذه الدول، واستأنفوا التشاور بينهم بهدف وضع التنظيم العملي والهيكل النظامي لبلورة وتطوير التعاون والتنسيق المنشودين بين دولهم، وقد اتفقوا على إنشاء مجلس للتعاون بين دول الخليج العربية المذكورة وتكوين أمانة عامة لهذا الهدف.
The initial declaration in Riyadh on February 4, 1981 marked a major turning point because it transformed Gulf cooperation from an idea into a clear political commitment. Before that, Gulf states coordinated on criteria issues, but there was an ununified international or institutional framework bringing them together. At the time, the region forced growing security tensions, political uncertainty, and economic concerns. Gulf leaders recognized that no country could effectively face the challenges alone, and that regional stability required closer cooperation. The declaration established as a shared understanding on the importance of coordination in security, economic affairs.
With that declaration, the idea of Gulf cooperation moved from consultation to commitment. The foundations were being laid for a permanent council, one that would reflect the shared identity, interests, and security of the 6 Gulf states. Less than 4 months later, history was made in Abu Dhabi. On May 25, 1981, the leaders of the 6 Gulf states gathered in the United Arab Emirates for the first GCC summit. Hosted by the late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, the meeting marked the official birth of the Cooperation Council for the Arab states of the Gulf. It was here that the GCC Charter was signed, formally establishing the Council and setting out its purpose: coordination, integration, and interconnection among the member states in all fields.
للإخوان أصحاب الجلالة وأصحاب السمو ومجتمعنا الكريم بهذا المجلس أو المؤتمر الذي هو يرجى لك كل خير، وأمتنا العربية كلها تتطلع إلى كل خطوة خير وكل ما هو يترجاه العالم العربي منا جميعا. حقيقة هو التضامن والتعاون الجدي والإخلاص.
Most importantly, it created the momentum that directly led to the formal establishment of the GCC later in 1981, turning dialogues into organized Gulf cooperation. The GCC summit in Abu Dhabi on May 25, 1981, represented much more than signing of a charter. It marked the beginning of a collective Gulf vision based on a shared security, political coordination, and economic cooperation.
Sheikh Zayed's words captured the spirit of the moment, a belief that the Gulf's future would be stronger through unity, consultation, and shared responsibility. From Abu Dhabi, the GCC began its institutional journey, transforming a common Gulf identity into a formal regional organization. 3 years after its establishment, the GCC journey arrived in Kuwait. In November 1984, Kuwait hosted the 5th GCC summit, the first time the country welcomed its fellow Gulf leaders for a GCC summit on Kuwaiti soil. For Kuwait, this moment carried deep significance. It reflected the country's long-standing commitment to Gulf unity and its belief that dialogue between leaders was the strongest foundation for regional stability.
إن قراراتنا مسؤوليتنا وخطوات مستقبلنا وصورة آمالنا وامتحان إرادتنا وعهد بيننا وبين شعوبنا. وإذا كان طريق العمل طويلا فإن الخطوات الواثقة والمنتظمة والقدرة على مراجعة الذات وتصحيح المسار والحوار الأخوي كل ذلك قادر بتوفيق الله على تحقيق الكثير.
During the 5th GCC summit in Kuwait, November 1984, the opening address of Sheikh Jabir al-Ahmed Jabir al-Sabah rahimahullah reflected Kuwait's vision of the GCC as more than political framework, but a longer term project for regional stability, solidarity, and collective security. His speech emphasized Gulf unity, consultation, and shared responsibility in addressing regional challenges during a period of heightened tensions. It reflected Kuwait's belief that dialogue, coordination, and cooperation were essential to protecting Gulf security and shared interests.
The address of Sheikh Jabir al-Ahmed al-Jabir al-Sabah expressed Kuwait's view of the GCC as a project of destiny, one rooted in brotherhood, sovereignty, and the shared future of the Gulf peoples. The Kuwait Summit helped reinforce the Council's role as a regular platform for consultation among the leaders of the member states and as a symbol of the Gulf's determination to face challenges together.
The address also heightened Kuwait's diplomatic approach based on the moderation, commitments, and collective actions. In a sense, Kuwait viewed the GCC as a platform to strengthening regional cohesion, preserve stability, and hold a shared Gulf future based on partnership and mutual trust.
The GCC's greatest test came in August 1990, when Iraq invaded Kuwait. The invasion was not only an attack on Kuwait's sovereignty, it was a threat to the security and stability of the entire Gulf region. In that defining moment, the GCC stood with Kuwait politically, diplomatically, militarily, and morally. The crisis proved that Gulf unity was not simply a phrase used in summit statements. It was a principle tested by history. The liberation of Kuwait confirmed the lesson that remains central to the Council's mission. The security of each Gulf state is part of the security of the Gulf as a whole.
Kuwait has played a major role in shaping identity of the Gulf Cooperation Council through its long-standing commitment in diplomacy, mediation, and Gulf unity. Kuwait consistently promoted dialogue, moderations, and peaceful solutions during the regional tensions, helping strengthening the GCC as a platform for cooperation rather than confrontation. It often acted as a trusted
انتو حماء اوطاني يا اماراتي
أنا الخليجي أنا الخليجي
سعودي
أنا الخليجي أنا الخليجي
قمري depends on concession and mutual understanding. Kuwait's foreign policy also emphasize collective security, economic cooperation, and respect for shared interests, reinforcing the GCC identity as a united regional bloc built on a consultation, stability, and a common purpose.
Over the decades, the GCC has worked to transform the idea of cooperation into practical achievements. The Council has advanced coordination in politics, defense, security, economy, education, health, culture, environment, and social development. It has supported the movement of citizens, the growth of intra Gulf trade, and the development of joint institutions. The GCC Common Market, customs cooperation, joint defense frameworks, and shared economic initiatives all reflect the continuing effort to bring the Gulf states closer together. These achievements did not happen in one moment, they were built gradually, summit after summit, agreement after agreement, and generation after generation. Today, 45 years after its establishment, the GCC stands in a region and a world undergoing rapid change. The Gulf is no longer viewed only through the lens of energy. It is a region of global cities, major financial centers, advanced infrastructure, logistics networks, cultural destinations, technology investment, renewable energy, projects, and ambitious national visions. Kuwait Vision 2035, Saudi Vision 2030, Qatar National Vision 2030, Bahrain Economic Vision 2030, we the UAE 2031, and Oman Vision 2040 all point toward a shared future. Diversified economies, empowered citizens, sustainable growth, and stronger global competitiveness. At the GCC level, the focus remains on deepening integration, strengthening the common market and customs union, expanding tourism and trade, developing connectivity, and preparing Gulf societies for the opportunities of the future.
The Iraqi invasion of Kuwait in 1990 became the greatest security test in the GCC history and revealed the deeper meaning of the Gulf unity beyond political and economic compressions. The crisis showed that the security of the one Gulf state is closely connected to a security of all matter states. GCC countries responded with a strong solidarity, condemning the invasion and supporting efforts to restore Kuwait sovereignty. And legitimately, the united response reflected a shared belief that protecting one member state is or a collective goal responsibility.
Connectivity is becoming one of the defining themes of the GCC's next chapter. From transport corridors and ports to digital platforms and tourism initiatives, the Gulf states are working to bring their people, markets, and economies closer together. Projects and initiatives that improve mobility, trade, logistics, and tourism reflect more than infrastructure. They represent a future in which movement, opportunity, and Gulf identity flow more easily across the region. For citizens, residents, investors, and visitors, the message is clear. The GCC is moving toward deeper integration, greater mobility, and a stronger regional identity.
The GCC has evolved to address today's complex security challenges beyond the original political and economic role. It now plays a stronger part in managing regional tensions, maritime security, cyber threats, and energy security. GCC countries have increased cooperation through a security coordination, intelligence sharing, and also joint efforts to protect regional stability. Maritime and cyber security have also become especially important in protecting trade routes. Also, energy supplies and critical systems. Overall, the GCC has developed into a stronger framework for collective security, cooperation, and regional reliance.
أنا الخليجي أنا الخليجي
سعودي
أنا الخليجي
عماني
أنا الخليجي
قطري
أنا الخليجي.
The GCC began with a declaration, became reality through a charter, and grew stronger through decades of shared experience. From Riyadh to Abu Dhabi, from Kuwait to every capital of the Gulf, the Council's journey has been shaped by the belief that the six member states are stronger together. Its story is one of leadership and vision, but also one of people, citizens connected by family, culture, language, faith, and a common Gulf identity. 45 years after its establishment, the Cooperation Council for the Arab States of the Gulf continues its journey, preserving unity, strengthening cooperation, and building one Gulf future.
As the GCC marks 45 years since establishment, the next chapter of the Gulf cooperation should focus on deeper unity, stronger reliance, and adapting to future challenges. Alongside security and political coordination, greater attention should be given to innovation, economic diversification, digital transformation.